Hey guys, Matt4959 here from Shadow Game Crew, and as I said, I'm gonna do. Have you seen his Rhino 377 page? He did the first part where we review Nolan's films. Now we're gonna review the original Tim Burton. So I'll put his name in the description and all that. So let's talk about the original Batmans.
Let's talk about the 1966 one.
60.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So let's start off with 66. Adam West. I thought that movie was okay for the time it was in. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I think it's fun to watch because,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't compare it to, The Dark Knight, you know? You can't do that. But if you're just wanting to, have a good time, it's definitely fun, you know?
Yeah, it's a definitely movie just to sit down and chuckle at because, I mean, it kind of shows you the campiness I was in the 60s, but, I mean, they tried to do that with Batman and Robin, but we're not going to get into that. So...
Yeah, that doesn't work for the...
Yeah.
Because the first three... I'm not saying Batman Forever was, dark, but at least it wasn't, that campy, you know?
Yeah. It had some dark. I think that when we'll talk about Batman Forever when we get to Batman Forever. So, what would you give Batman from 66 out of?
Well, I own it on Blu-ray, I own it on DVD. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's really enjoyable. I definitely recommend it for a watch.
I give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe I just enjoyed it a little bit more than you because I read the comics from the 60s, and I see where they took the things at. But yeah, that's just me. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't rank movies a 10 hardly. I only give 20 movies a 10, and then the rest are 9s, 8s. My top 100 list, I have one. The lowest movie on my list gets an 8, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't rank movies that highly because it's hard to make a perfect film, you know, but I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
I might even give it a 7, I don't know. Maybe a 6.5. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, okay. So next is Batman from '89, which basically started the darkness in the movies. And people say that, screw Tim Burton's, Christopher Nolan is the best. Well, I say that you would have never gotten Christopher Nolan's films if you didn't get Tim Burton's Batman. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. I love Batman 1989. It's a great film. It's just great, you know?
Yeah, and it made more money. Batman from '89, it made $411 million out of the Batman Begins. It made more money than that, which I think is pretty surprising because it was the highest grossing DC comic superhero until The Dark Knight.
Yeah, man. Batman kicked ass at the box office.
Yeah. But,
So, my favorite thing about the film would have to be Nicholson's Joker. He was just so menacing. The parts when he's sitting in the office and he's got his flesh tone makeup on, and then he murders that guy and he's just sitting there talking to his corpse. That scene's just awesome.
Yeah, I think this one has more memorable lines, like when he said to Michael Keaton when he was about to shoot him, he's like, "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" I like that line. That line was pretty memorable to me.
Yeah, I know. I love that scene so much. And, Bruce Wayne trying to be you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That scene, it's just so, classic. You know, it's a classic, in my opinion.
Yeah, and, Jack Nicholson was nominated for,
Golden Globe, I know.
Yeah, Golden Globe. I thought he should have won, but I don't know who won instead. Let me see.
I don't either. The Golden Globes, they have, all these different award nominations. They had Best Actor in a Comedy Musical, Best Actor in a Drama, Best Actor in an Action Movie.
Yeah.
Just have Best Actor, you know?
Yeah, he was nominated for comedy or musical, which I think
That's stupid. It's not a comedy or a musical.
I don't know, but, so what would you give this movie? And the special effects, I gotta say before we stop, the special effects in this movie were great for that time. I don't think they're outdated one bit, honestly. My friend, he saw the Batwing, which I think is a better Batwing than the Bat in The Dark Knight Rises, because it's like a hover, which I don't really like.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but it's flawed. There's a lot of moments, the part when Batman starts shooting at the Batwing at the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
And the Joker, and he misses, and then the Joker pulls a long gun out of his pants, and then
Yeah.
shoots it with one shot, and it takes it down, and then he just happens to have henchmen in the church. Like, I felt like they rushed through that part.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just me. I think it could have been a little longer.
And yeah, you keep going.
The fans get my nerves because they'll be like, The Dark Knight Rises should have been longer. Then they bitch that The Dark Knight was too long. It's like, what do you want them to do, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But, also, we gotta talk one thing before we go, what was Danny Elfman's score, which I think is an amazing score in this movie.
Oh my god, yeah, his score in the Spider-Man movies are great too, but
Yeah.
the Batman movies are just so awesome, man. And it was the animated series too.
Yeah, the animated series, I love that series. That's just a great animated TV show. I think, yeah. So next we go into Batman Returns from 1992.
Hold on. Let's rank Batman 1989 then.
Okay, Batman 89, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 just because it's my childhood film.
I'd give it an 8.5. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to get into the flaws because we don't have a lot of time or anything, so yeah. Batman Returns.
So Batman Returns came out in 1992. It stars Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken. Tim Burton returns. He has Danny Elfman returns, and it only made $266 million at box office with an $80 million budget. So it didn't do that good.
That surprises me too, because everyone loved the original Batman. That doesn't make sense.
But some people said that that it was too dark.
The Returns.
Yeah, they said and it was, I think it was kind of dark because the Penguin's plan was to get a whole bunch of kids and kill them and throw them in toxic waste, which is pretty dark, I think.
Yeah, movie, I don't know, I like it, but, it's just, too weird for me, you know?
Yeah.
It felt like too much of a Tim Burton film.
Yeah.
Instead of a Batman film.
It's like a,
I enjoy it, though, but out of the originals, it's definitely my second favorite out of the first four, you know?
This is probably my third favorite, because I like Batman Forever. That was another childhood film, but, Batman Returns, I gotta say, I liked it, but I liked seeing Michael Keaton return, but it felt like a Tim Burton film with a cameo of Batman here and there.
I know, man, and the Penguin, I like Danny DeVito's Penguin, but, in the comics, I don't really like how he's just, insane, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like they did with all the villains in the original series. They just made the characters, wacko, you know?
Yeah.
He should have been, in the comics where he was all smart and he was good at business. And this film, he just felt like a crazy old penguin, you know? But Danny DeVito was great for the role. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, I think she was good, but I don't think she's, what everyone says. And I think Anne Hathaway was the best Catwoman.
Yeah, and, what else? I think Christopher Walken wasn't really needed in this film. I think they could have gone on with the story without Christopher Walken. I mean, he's a great actor and all. He did a good part, but it just, I don't think he was really needed in this movie.
To me, I think he boosted the film a lot because, he kind of added, in Batman 1989, Robert Wuhl's character kind of added, that comic relief.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say Christopher Walken added, comic relief or anything, but he kind of, pushes it out a little bit, you know? I don't know. I just always felt like that, but I don't know.
Okay,
he's
so...
very menacing, too.
Yeah.
He reminds, the way he moves and talks, he reminds me of the Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man. I don't know why, he just does. It's kind of weird, though.
And so what would you give Batman Returns?
6.5.
I'd give it a 6, just because I thought it was a little bit too dark for me. I mean, I like dark films, but when you're bringing in about killing little kids, I mean, that's just brings down a lot for me.
Yeah, I have to talk about this. The part where he does the Batman arcade thing, where he gets that Batmobile thing.
Oh, yeah?
I was just really, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, and so, now next one we have is Batman Forever, which came out in 1995. which Tim Burton produced it, and Joel Schumacher directed it, and it made $336 million with a $100 million budget, and it had the biggest opening of all time when it opened up.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot, honestly. I mean, there is some major flaws in it, but I mean, it's one of those movies you can look at and just enjoy it. I mean, it's entertaining, of course. I mean, I think Jim Carrey, as you said, like Christopher Walken and Robert Wool were comedic reliefs. I think Jim Carrey was a comedic relief in this movie, Batman Forever.
Yeah, but I like Jim Carrey's Riddler in the film, but this is what pissed me off. Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face, man.
Yeah.
Horrible, man. Tommy Lee Jones is like an amazing actor. Like, have you seen No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, I remember him.
Like, he's been great in so many things, and he could have played like a smarter Two-Face. Like, he came off as dumb and just like crazy, like, you know?
Yeah. He just came off like he was trying to compete with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Which I know
And
everybody says.
I have a big problem with most of the acting, too. Nicole Kidman, she was just kind of like there.
Yeah.
And Chris O'Donnell was a bad movie, but, you know,
yeah,
it's not like his best role or anything.
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell was better in this than I think Batman and Robin, because he didn't whine as much. He was a little bit more serious and dark because his parents just died. But that's what I think. And one thing about Nicole Kidman that I didn't like was, like, I remember when she first met Batman, she's like, oh, hot entrance. When there's hostages up there about to get killed and they're just flirting with each other down on the ground. I think that was pretty cheesy just for me.
I know, like, her character, she was, like, really stupid, too, and she was supposed to be a doctor. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. And she was trying, like, so many times, like, it doesn't make sense to flirt with someone who's in a bat suit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of stupid, but, I don't want to get into all the flaws, so what would you give this movie out of 10?
To be honest, I don't really like it at all, but I guess it's fun, so I give it a 4.5, maybe. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's okay for a watch.
Oh, yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, like I said, I was born when this movie came out. I mean, this is my film. I mean, so I'm going to go with the leap of faith, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's not a very, very good, but it's a good watchable movie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like unwatchable. It's just, I don't know, it started to get too goofy, and then Joel Schumacher thought, you know, hey, you know, I can get away with goofiness, so let's make Batman Robin.
Okay, so I think we might have to go for a fourth part here. Not a fourth, a third part. But, so I think we might need a third part. So, are you fine with the third part?
Yeah, sure, but, just the third part to talk about Batman and Robin. We can talk about the animated series show, too, okay?
Okay, so guys, that's it. So, we're gonna talk about the big cluster ball that was... It had a $140 million budget. Where'd it go to? Oh, okay, I'm just gonna stop. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you liked the video. Enjoy.